I had some chicken pieces that I had to use up. So I thought, what better way than to make some chicken enchiladas? And yes, that's what we're going to make. So sit back, we'll get everything out, and we'll make them right now. We need some chicken. Now I've got 2 packages I had of chicken pieces that I had cut up to make something, but I never did. And 1 big chicken breast. I think that's going to be plenty of chicken for what we need. I've also got a couple packs of tortillas because I'm not quite sure how many I'm going to use. Big bag of shredded cheddar, make it old cheddar. Carolina Reaper cheese. Never heard of it, so I had to get it to add a little spice to this. I think it's going to work out really cool. If you're not that ambitious, just grab some pepper jack or just Monterey Jack or anything mild like that. We need some enchilada sauce. 3 cans I've got. I think that'll work. And a can of Rotel. I mean, if you don't have Rotel, just use regular diced tomatoes. I'm sure it'll work. 2 red peppers, and of course if you don't have red peppers, use whatever peppers you got. A large onion. I don't have a large onion, but I do still have 2 little onions, and that's going to do just fine. Garlic. I've got 5 little cloves of garlic because that's all I had. 3 good-sized ones will do just what we need. Let's get our chicken going. We're going to put it in the oven and bake it. So I've got my baking sheet with parchment paper. And I think I've just got enough room for it. So we're going to put our chicken breast on. We'll grab all our chicken pieces. You can see they're all different sizes. That was really, now that I think of it, was going to be a stir fry that just never happened. So we got to use them up and this will work out. We've got all our chicken spread. You got to spread it out just to make sure it cooks evenly, right? Okay, that's all of it. A little bit of salt. A little bit of pepper, just to give it a little, I did have poultry seasoning. I probably could have used that too. It would have worked. That's okay. Into the oven this is going to go. 350, about 20-25 minutes. Not really sure. We're just going to have to keep an eye on it when it's done. I fear the chicken pieces might cook a little quicker than the whole breast, but we'll get her to cook. No problem. Cutting board in a bowl, and there is our peppers. I cut them into chunks, and I'm going to end up cutting those down into smaller pieces. I don't know what I was thinking with the chunks. Oh, I know. I was going to use my food processor, but it broke. So I had to go back and chop everything by hand, which was not a lot of fun. Onions are next, chopped into chunks, and we'll put that with the peppers. And when we get over to our frying pan, I've already cut it down. I didn't think you want to see me have to go through all that. Last part is our garlic, also chopped into big chunks. And there's our veggies for our enchiladas. So here's our chicken at the halfway point. You can see it's not quite done, but I'm going to flip everything over. If I can get it. If I can get it off the pan, it's just fine. There we go. I'm going to break up the little pieces. That looks good. Carefully put it back in the oven. And it looks like it's done now. So we're just going to double check just to make sure there's no pink in the meat and that. It's looking pretty good. Yeah, I think we're good to go here. That's about 25 minutes. But some of that chicken's a little too big. So now I'm going to take the time to shred it. If I was doing this in a slow cooker or what have you, I'd be shredding it. I'm going to kind of chop these into pieces where they're too big. So it'll look something like that when we're done. We got a container, so that's about 2 cups. Now here's our chicken breast. And that's cooked all the way through too. And we're just going to chop that up into strips. So we've got close to 4 cups, between 3 and 4 cups of shredded or chopped chicken. That should be lots to work with. It's about that much. Looks pretty good to me. Over to our frying pan. A little bit of oil, swish it around. In goes our peppers and onions and garlic. We'll stir around. Let this cook down for a few minutes, and while we're waiting for that, into a bowl goes our chicken. Not all of it, because I have to make a special one for my daughter who doesn't want any of the spice. So there's our cheddar cheese mix. That's probably about a cup and a half into what I'm making, and here's the Carolina Reaper. You know, it's not as hot as it might seem. It had a good kick though. I will give it that. And you can see how much I'm putting in, like a couple good handfuls. So our onions and peppers are looking good. I think they're almost ready. Now we're going to add our can of diced tomatoes. And 1, 2 cans of enchilada sauce. Mix that all around. It's pretty loose, but that's okay. Eventually that's going to be our sauce to go on the enchilada. So this has been simmering for a few minutes. We're going to take out some of that sauce. That's about a cup and a half. Okay, so here's our chicken. Mix, 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 mix with the cheese. Looks easy enough. Now we take our enchilada sauce and just pour it on top. Just like that, and then we mix all that together. And that's our stuffing. That wasn't hard at all. Just takes a little bit of time to combine it all. Now we're taking out some more sauce. About half of what we got in there. Because we're going to put a little bit in the bottom of our pan, and then, watch this now, I've already rolled one out. So you take a good tablespoon of the filling onto your tortilla. Okay, I put a little more in there. Fold the sides over, and then carefully grab the top. You really got to use all your fingers for this. Fold it over, and then keep rolling. Seam goes down. Now you can see in the bottom of the pan, I did pour some of the tomato sauce. So we'll do the same thing again, just so you can see a little closer to the top, which is what you want. Now if your tortillas don't quite fold over nice and neat like that, put them in the microwave for 10 seconds. It'll help loosen them up. So you take the top, you flip it over, you carefully roll the stuffing. And you got to watch that your sides are okay too, because you don't want everything leaking out. So yeah, I'll get neat just like everything else. We filled the pan up. So there's 12 enchiladas right there. I got another one with my daughters. Just, I had to put it in a different pan. So the rest of our sauce goes on top. And then we're just going to kind of smooth it out so it covers everything. And I suppose if you want to put more than that on for sauce, well, you can. Just add some more tomatoes or a little bit more sauce if you really need to. This tasted really, really good too. There, I think that looks good. Now it's time for our cheese. I'm going to put a little extra of the Carolina Reaper on there. Why? Because it's already got a kick, so why not? And then we're going to cover up the rest of the top with our sharp cheddar, but not super thick. Yeah, just enough so it covers the top, right like that. Doesn't have to be perfect by any stretch. All right, that looks pretty good. Into the oven, 350. 15 to 20 minutes, just till everything gets nice and melty. And when it comes out, everything's nice and melty. That looks pretty good to me. Oh yeah, it smells pretty good too. So now the trick is to actually, it's cooled down enough that I can hold on to the pan. As you can see, I had a baking sheet underneath it just in case. And here's our two chicken enchiladas. Come on, get off the flipper. Look at that. Oh, these smell so good. There. That looks pretty good to me. I just need a fork, and we're good to eat. And there you have it, guys. That wasn't too hard, was it? Chicken enchiladas. Hey, another great recipe. I hope you'll give it a try. Leave me a comment below, one way or the other. Listen, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell because that'll tell you the next time I upload a video. Feel free to share this and any of my other videos. And thanks for stopping by and watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.